Hello all and welcome to another Tuesday Thunder playthrough with Rangy. We're at Sonoma Sprint with the Formula Juniors. We've got a replay with me in the green at the bottom and Dan in orange as usual at the top. We're going through Sonoma Sprint here and I won't ruin the surprise, Dan's quicker. As you would expect in an open wheeler, he loves these things. What we're going to do is we're going to go round on a lap, just have a look to see where the break points are, and then we're going to go through in slow motion and discuss where Dan's finding the time about half a second over me on this course. Here we are then, coming up to the start finish line, and you can see Dan's quite a bit quicker than I am there, and we're going to go through in slow motion for the entire lap this time, just to show where Dan's finding the time. As we come up here, you can see that in a minute I kiss the brakes, where Dan just gets out the throttle and uses much less brakes than I do on the way up here. We both get back on the throttle, but he's much braver back on the throttle briefly before getting back on the brakes to line ourselves up for this right turn. I'm a bit more eager to get back on the throttle, but you can see that unsteadies the car, and I'm not brave enough then to get back on the throttle as quickly as Dan does. As we're coming through this uphill left, you can also see Dan using the clutch there. He's obviously using his H pattern shifter. I'm on the paddles. So I get on the brakes here, Dan doesn't at all. I got on the brakes to try and rotate the car, and Dan is immediately back on the throttle, lining up for this right turn. Then comes off, no brakes again, where I've got a little bit of brakes on. And you can see both of our cars oscillating over that bump that's on the inside right there. And it is tricky to keep your car in a straight line after that bump. We're coming down towards this right-hander. We both use a little bit of brake here. Me much earlier than Dan does, but quite a bit less. And we both drift around this corner. I recover some time at this point in the course, although Dan's still ahead, as you can see, but not by much at this point. As we come along here, the braking point's round about where this white line comes across. Both get on the anchors just after that. Force it down to second. Dan's forced it down to second way earlier than I did, and used that to slow the car down for this corner. And you can see that that meant that he was kind of unstable and had the car rotated far earlier than I did for that right hand turn in. As we come through here, flat out through here, I think I use a dab of brakes for this left-hander, and Dan doesn't at all. He just backs out of it and lets the car rotate. Takes an awful lot of that curb, but that's to get him lined up for this right-hander. Again, I dab a little bit of brakes to try and stabilise the rear end. Dan's much closer to the apex there and able to get on the throttle far earlier than I was. also see he kind of short shifts early into fourth to get it going. And as we come down here, this is a braking zone. You've got to brake for this right-hander, but it's a real bear to decide how much. You've got to take some speed off of it, because otherwise you're going to understeer rather to the left. But you need to be riding that curb hard. I'm not over that curb at all, and it shows on the way out. I really lose some pace at this stage in the circuit, having been quite close to Dan previously. And as we come along here, you see Dan's on the skids just before that line comes in. So we're on the skids at just about the same point, but you can see he rotates the car and throws it into this corner. I mean, he's much tighter to the apex than I am, allowing him to get back on the throttle earlier than me and sweep it out to the left further than I do, really getting a lot more out that final corner than I'm able to do. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this Tuesday Thunder run through and can take something away for it for your lap to get yourself ready for Tuesday Thunder this week. In the end, coming up to the line, you can see that Dan is about half a second up on where I am. Thank you very much, everybody, and see you on Tuesday.